In today's video, I'm going to show you my Bushcraft backpack for 2022, so stick around. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Prepared wander out in the woods today, and this video has been a long time coming. So just some quick background. Several years ago I did a video called My Bushcraft Backpack, and since then that video has gained over 700,000 views. It is my most popular video by far. A lot of people watch it, they still watch it, which is awesome, but that tells me that that subject matter is of a lot of interest. I think people love to see what other people are doing and the kind of kits that they put together, because it gives them ideas, especially if they're newbies, they're just starting out, they need something to kind of start with, and most people are very visual, you know, of how to set up your backpack. So let's jump right into it and see what's in my Bushcraft backpack. Alright, so this is my backpack. Now, I did a video a little while ago on some of my favorite pieces of gear from LA Police Gear, and this pack was featured in that. This is the LA Police Gear Atlas 12. It is what I would consider a day pack size backpack. It's just about the right size, I feel, for what I'm doing. Anytime you're building your kit, you're selecting your gear, you need to think about what the purpose is, what the intention is, and then go from there. So I wanted something that was a little bit bigger than most typical day packs, but I didn't want it to start getting too huge where I overloaded it and I didn't feel like carrying it. So the Atlas 12 really made sense. And then just the overall features of the bag, I like how it's set up, and I'm going to show you some of that. But let's jump into contents, because that's kind of what this video is all about. So in the front pocket here, I've got several things. I've got these hyper tough gloves that I actually featured in my Walmart survival gear video, and I've been using these a little bit since I got them for that video, and I really like them. And the reason I like them is because they're very easy to put on and off. They just slip on. There's no Velcro straps or any of that kind of stuff. They seem to be pretty well made, pretty decent toughness, and they're inexpensive. So once I wear them out this season, I can get a new pair next year and be ready to go. So hyper tough gloves from Walmart, that's my preferred glove right now. Gloves are super important when doing bushcrafting and survival training and any general outdoor stuff. You need a good pair of gloves. First, you're going to be out in the woods. You need a way of keeping yourself clean once you go to the bathroom, and I always carry a package of food wipes, really important. Another important item is my notebook, and within that notebook I have a wrist compass, just so I can get some general directions and bearings. Now if I really want to do some heavy-duty land nav, I have a chest pack that has my Silver Ranger compass in it, and I'll carry that. But for just the purposes of hiking and being out in the woods, generally in spots that I'm very familiar with, the wrist compass and this notebook will get me through what I need. A couple other items, of course, with bushcrafting is just getting out in nature and learning about nature. And a couple things that I carry is my mushroom field guide, really quick, handy dandy guide with some nice illustrations and descriptions. And then my edible wild food cards. Another great resource. Pictures, and of course information on the back, and they are playing cards. So kind of a cool item, double purpose right there. But love to have reference material with me, but I don't like carrying a lot of books, so that kind of stuff works. Another big item for a bushcraft bag is your knife. Now this is one of many knives that I own. I own a lot, and I play with a lot of them, but you know, generally for bushcrafting, you're doing a lot of wood processing and wood carving, so having knives that are Scandi, I think is key. This is the Garberg Carbon. That's why it's that black color. It has a 90-degree sharpened spine for striking your ferro rod, razor sharp, full tang, and then I got an aftermarket Kydex sheath that I got off of eBay. Just a fantastic bushcrafting knife, but I'll switch this out and do other knives as well. This isn't always the one I'm going to use, but it's the one I got in my bag right now. It's a great blade. And then another item that I carry and that I absolutely love, had this for years. This is the Hidden Woodsman signal panel. If you watch my videos, you will see this thing come up again and again. And I've said it before, the reason I have this is not for signaling so much, but is to lay on the ground and to do my wood processing on top of. It's a heavy-duty coated nylon. It makes a great platform for, you know, laying out your wood and doing your processing and separating things into your different bundles for getting your fire started. It's just a great little item. It makes everything very visible and keeps your stuff off the ground. Now, one thing I'll say about this particular bag and the setup, when I say bushcraft backpack, this is really geared towards a day trip. This is a day bushcraft bag. This is not intended for overnight. There are items in here that will get me through the overnight in an emergency, and in case I do want to do that on like a lighter loadout, I can, but keep that in mind. We're talking about day trips. So neck gaiter, just a handy item to have. A nice headlamp. I like this one. I believe I just got this one, and it's pretty cool. This is the Princeton Tech. It has a red light mode, which switches on first, which is really cool. And then it goes to a white light mode, if I can get that going. But it takes the AAA batteries, so keep some extras in the pack and an organizer. Gotta have a headlamp, because you just never know if you're going to be out and it starts getting dark and you gotta get home, gotta get back to your vehicle. It's just good to have. It's a go-to item. This is the E&E pouch. It is perfect for a canteen kit. And I paid a little extra for these things, but the features on it are just what I was looking for, and it really complemented and completed this bag. So it's a padded Cordura material with moly on the outside, but if you flip it open, it will hold a canteen set. And this is the Keith titanium canteen set. It is the exact same as the heavy cover. Keith makes the heavy cover. This is just Keith's private branded whatever. Now, as you can see, I've used this quite a bit on stoves and in fires and whatnot. This is the cup. There's the canteen itself. fantastic piece of kit. I love it. One thing I've added to it is the stove stand. This is from Boundless Voyage on Amazon. This actually comes with another mess kit that I'm not using the stove with, but it fits my canteen set perfectly. So I use that other mess kit in a separate bag, and then I use this with my canteen, and it fits right on there. And this allows me to do a twig fire underneath and elevate the cup. You see it's kind of sooty, but just a great way of preparing food in the field is this setup right here. Love it. And then over here, same pouch, canteen, just an Nalgene Oasis. The lid to the canteen cup goes over here, so it kind of distributes the weight a little bit better. What's great about this pouch is there are pockets on the inside that the lid will go into, and there's pockets on down the sides that you can put your spoon. And it's also Velcro lined in the back, so you can add an organizer. There's also tether points on the inside of the pouch, so if you want to tie stuff down, you can do that. But what is great about this pouch is a feature that I've never seen on any other pouch. It actually has a pass-through pocket built into it, so when you attach it to a pack and you want to put something behind the pocket, you can. You can't do that with other pockets usually. This you can. It's got a sleeve built in. It's actually Velcro at the bottom, so if you don't want to, you hear that? If you don't want to use the sleeve, you can close that up. But I love this because now I can run my Tomahawk through there. And that's the next item we're going to talk about. So along with a knife, some type of other cutting tool is awesome. Of course, axes are always great. Hatchets are great. I don't like hatchets as much because they're too short for me. I just can't get used to a hatchet. But a Tomahawk has a longer handle, and I love it. I love that length. It gives me a little bit more reach. And this is a CRKT Nobu T-Hawk, I believe what it's called. And that's basically like their other Tomahawk, but it doesn't have that pole or that hammer on the back. That hammer on the back, I guess what you call it. But super nice Tomahawk. Can be really sharpened up well. Got a leather guard on it and a custom leather mask that goes with it. Just a great setup for the woods. You can definitely do some processing with this and not feel like you don't have enough with you. Axes are great, but they're cumbersome, they're big, not really great for day packing, but a light Tomahawk definitely fits the bill for my style of doing stuff. Reason that I love this backpack is really this main feature, is because it is a backpack that you can unzip all the way around and open up. And when you do that, it really gives you access to the contents of your bag. Makes it a lot easier finding stuff. You know, traditional barrel style backpacks that have a closure at the top that you have to reach into, I find to be a big pain. Now when you're backpacking and camping, it's not that big of a deal, but with a day pack like this where I'm accessing all this different gear and I'm utilizing it throughout my trip, having this fillet style pack for me is the way to go. It's what we used in search and rescue. It makes a lot of sense. I still love them, and the LA Police gear packs do that, and that's why one reason I got this one. So, food. Always carry some kind of homemade ration pack with me. I've got ramen, I've got some pulled pork in there that's like a package. I've got some meat sticks, there's hot sauce, there's coffee, Cliff Bar, there is liquid IV for replenishing electrolytes and just kind of a multiplier for hydration. So enough calories and food to get me through the day and make my trip more enjoyable. Since I've got my stove with me and I've got food, got a nice little mess kit. This is the Wildo, and what I've done is I've put one of the Ozark Trail foldable cups in it. So I've got a nice lightweight coffee mug. And then the mess kit itself actually came with a nice spork. So that goes in there. Another item that I got, but I haven't used it yet because I want to test it out, is this little square grate. I think I got this with one of my Pathfinder cook sets. But my thinking is I can put that on top of that stove stand that I have for my canteen, that if I want to grill a small piece of meat, I can do that. And I need to test that out, but it's such a small, lightweight piece of gear, it's like, why not have a little grill in your bushcraft bag? So there's that. Of course, a first aid kit, super important. This is pretty much just a boo-boo kit. One thing that I do put in my first aid kits is I put an emergency whistle, because that's probably when if I hurt myself, that's probably when I'm going to need to signal somebody. So that just stores in there. And then everything is in plastic bags just so it stays dry. And this is, not a very expensive kit. I got this on Amazon, but it does a nice job of what I need for a boo-boo kit. Another awesome item to have, of course, is a sit pad. This is the Thermarest seat, Z seat. It just folds up. Very lightweight and packable. I can put that on the outside of my pack or on the inside, so I always have something to sit on, especially when it's wet. This fall it's going to be super wet. Another cutting tool is the Bahco Laplander saw. A saw with a knife is a great combination of tools for bushcrafting. The Bahco is a fantastic saw, and before the Silky Rage started, Bahco was it. When you were starting in bushcraft, everybody got a Bahco, and nowadays a lot of guys have gone to Silkies, and I love Silkies, they're great saws, but I still love my Bahco. It's got a very comfortable handle. It has a replaceable blade. The blade can cut wood and bone. It is designed to do both efficiently. Sure, any saw can do that, but Bahco does a really nice job with bone because it was designed as a hunting saw, I believe, originally. So, love my Bahco. Had this thing for years and years and years. Got a lot of good use out of it, and it's still going strong. Another thing that I need to do a review on for you guys is something I just got in. This is from One Wind. They are a maker of hammocks. This is their camping shelter. It is an ultralight sil nylon shelter. And as you can see in the illustration, you can actually pull the wings out on it and create like a little tarp shelter with it. But it comes with, which I thought was great, for a shelter, it came with guy lines and stakes. The only thing I have to add is a ridge line, and that's not a big deal. So, because for my ridge line, Got a couple hunks of paracord, and then I've got these Night Eyes carabiners with the little figure eights on the end, or whatever they call them. So really easy to set up a tarp with these. Love them. Super simple to operate. So review coming on this shortly, but it's still nylon. It weighs nothing. Super lightweight. Not very expensive either. It's not going to break the bank. But the reason I carry a shelter in my Bushcraft day kit is because as it gets colder and starts raining more and getting windier, it's just nice to have a break set up to sit under while you're cooking your lunch. And then if I do get into a situation where I do have to spend the night in the woods, I've got something. I will say that as it gets colder, I'll probably add an insulation layer or maybe a bivvy to this backpack. There's room for that. But right now it's set up lightweight since it's still summer basically. And then you'll also notice that I'm sitting on a ground cloth. This also gets carried in my bag at all times. It is a casualty blanket. I can lay on it, I can wrap up in it, multifunctional, so it's a great item to have. Another item that gotta have in your bushcraft bag is ways of starting a fire and having some backup emergency survival type stuff. What I always put together for my bags is a kit, and I call it my Possibles kit. Now, that's an old concept. The old trappers from long ago, the long hunter days, carried Possibles bags or possible kits. And what that means is that in a situation, you have things that will get you through that situation. So there's a lot of possibilities that you can solve with your kit. And this is mine. This is a new pouch that I just got from Hidden Woodsman. It is his survival kit pouch. Hidden Woodsman makes fantastic gear. I've owned a lot of his stuff. He continually makes fantastic made in USA products, handcrafted, and the survival kit pouch is pretty awesome. It's MOLLE on the back, so if I want to attach it to the front of my pack, I can. Got a Velcro field for my patches. This is my dedicated bag of tricks. And what I've done with mine is I've added the things that I think I'll need to start a fire and do a few other tasks. It's primarily fire, but there's a few other things in here as well. So got a hunk of fat wood. Always great to have fat wood. I've got a good portion of bank line in case I don't want to use my 550 cord, since I'm using that as my ridge line. Over here I've got the awesome Wilson Knives Ferro Rod. Did a review of that a while ago. What's cool about it is an aircraft aluminum handle that is hollow. It has a compass built into it, and then I've got tinder inside mine. But it's just a really well-made piece of gear from a great guy, and comes with a striker, so I've got that. I've also got his match tube or match safe. Same thing, aircraft aluminum, hollow. Does have a compass in it as well. And then I've got just some of the boat matches, waterproof boat matches, kind you get at Walmart. So there's that. Of course, no fire kit is complete without a Butane Lighter in a bright color that you can find easily if you drop it on the ground. So multiple ways of starting a fire. Another item that I've talked about in other videos, I have these in all my kits, is a fire bellows. You can get these very inexpensively on Amazon, but they really get a marginal bed of coals or wet wood going to a roaring fire pretty quickly just by blowing into it. So have that. And then a couple extra little items. I've got a magnifying lens or a Fresnel lens. And I primarily have that for starting fire, but I can use it for map reading as well. So that stays in my kit. And then as a backup kind of item, water purification tablets and Whirl Bags to disinfect water and treat water if I need to. I've got a metal canteen so I can boil water. I've got a Canteen Cup, I can boil water in that. This is another item that I can filter or disinfect water if I need to. Don't plan on doing that very often. I don't usually have to, but you never know, right? And then in this pouch, I've got a bag of Jute Twine that I've processed down very finely. And I'm going to show you why I have that, because this is an item that you need if you are working with flint and steel. Talked about flint and steel in other videos. I love doing flint and steel. It's a great way to get a fire going. In my kit, I keep some cotton patches ready to be turned into char cloth, which I'll do in my container. But I also carry flint, of course, some dried chaga that I can actually process down into a powder. My steel. So I got the means of starting a fire with flint and steel. It's a fabulous method of starting a fire. It's a lot of fun too, just fun to mess with. It's an old way of doing things, and I really enjoy it. And being able to char material in the field is super important for that next fire mentality. When you're thinking about how to start that next fire, this will get you to do that. And then I keep a couple of emergency fire starters in my kit. These are just the Duraflame fire starters. You can get these at Walmart. I've been using these regularly now this year, and a lot of different times in different conditions, and they're fantastic for getting a fire going. They're just, you hit them with a match or a lighter, and boom, there is instant flame. It's tall and hot. So it's a great way of getting a fire going if you don't have the means to start it another way. Another item that I have in my pack is up in this top pocket. Is just an inexpensive pair of binoculars. These are just Bushnell 10 by 25s, nothing fancy, super cheap, but if I'm out hiking around in the woods, a lot of times there's stuff that I'm trying to see at a distance, wildlife. It's just fun to have these, do a little bird watching, whatever. So great item to have. They don't weigh a lot, and my goal of being out in the woods is getting to see nature and experience it, and this helps me do that. Other items that you need to consider too for your kit is what you carry on your person. And probably one of the most important pieces of gear that you can carry is your pocket knife. It is a backup to your main gear, to your main knife. But if you get a quality pocket knife or multi-tool, it will give you additional tools that will help you be successful when you're out in the woods. And what I consider probably one of the finest bushcraft pocket knives on the market is the Victorinox Farmer. What makes the Farmer such a fantastic bushcrafting tool is a few things. So one, you've got a great little pocket saw for doing crafts, small stuff in camp. You've got, of course, that famous Victorinox blade shape, in that great stainless that they do. Great for, you know, cutting up food, doing whittling, things like that. So just a nice small knife. And then, of course, pocket knives. For bushcrafting, I think you need to have a can opener and a bottle opener, and then some screwdrivers, just so you can, you know, fix gear in the field. And then the item that really sets this apart from other Victorinox knives is this right here. This is the awl. Some call it a punch. And the reason why it is so fantastic for bushcrafting is because it does one thing that a lot of other Victorinox awls don't do very well, is that you're able to strike a ferro rod very easily because that awl is so sharp. It does a great job with striking your ferro rod, and because of the side of the knife that it's positioned on, it won't fold on you when you're striking your ferro rod. A lot of the other awls on the other Victorinox knives are in different positions and they don't work as well because they'll fold, or they're just, you know, they're coming out of the middle of the knife, and that doesn't work very well. But this thing is perfect. It's just, you know, you're not going to hurt yourself with it. So if you don't want to use your fixed blade knife, if you don't want to use or have a striker, you've got this. So I love these. I'm carrying one for years. And then what I do with mine, I have a little 2-strand twist on there out of paracord, and then I dummy cord that to my belt. That way I don't lose it. So here it is, all laid out. This is pretty much everything that I carry in my Bushcraft backpack for 2022. Some great items in here that I've used for years and years, and then some new stuff that I've been incorporating into and testing out. Hopefully this will give you guys some good ideas on what you need to get for your backpack. You don't necessarily have to have this stuff. There are many great items out on the market that are budget friendly. Just go back through some of my videos. I have a lot of budget gear videos on knives and backpacks and stuff you can get at Walmart and stuff you can get at Amazon. But this is stuff that I know is not going to fail me. It's going to last, and I've enjoyed using and plan on using more. So as always, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, check out the affiliate links down below. There's the Amazon store, there's the big cartel site for patches and stickers, and check out the Facebook group. That is getting big. Well over 2,000 members, growing every day. It's a fun place to see extra content and see what other people are doing with their gear. And also Instagram, check that out as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.